Well, the story never changes, and the ones who continue to suffer are the teachers being put out of work and the kids whose school is short on resources due to no fault of their own. Welcome in. So yesterday we told you about CVUSD Superintendent Dr. Frances Esparza, a good friend of the show, penning an op-ed in the Desert Sun. She closed out that op-ed with this: through transparency, collaboration, and steadfast commitment, CVUSD is on a path, a clear path toward long-term financial stability, ensuring that every decision supports the students and families we proudly serve. That sounds great, doesn't it? How about you listen to the parents and residents of your school district?
I just think you guys should reevaluate really who or what needs to be cut. I don't think staff needs to be cut. Last year, the Autumn Festival at CVU Elementary was full of teachers, full of staff. This year was pretty sad. There was hardly any staff there. I think they're all volunteers. I think probably they didn't want to volunteer because of morale. All of those little things affect the kids. I don't think you guys should keep affecting the kids. Also, if something's not working in the board, I think you guys should figure out what isn't working and make it work. For example, if these lights go out and the electrician can't get the lights back on, let's find someone who can get the lights on.
Stability matters. It matters to teachers deciding whether to build a career here. It matters to families whether to enroll or stay. And it matters to prospective educators we hope to recruit. We understand the financial realities. In California, funding follows enrollment. When enrollment declines, revenues decline. Those pressures are real. But it is also true that ongoing layoffs can unintentionally reinforce enrollment decline.
All right, after that, more people spoke, and then the board voted.
Difficult as it is, understanding the responsibility that we have to our community and making sure that we stabilize the school district, understanding that it's going to make very difficult, especially at a very difficult time, even more challenging for many families. Unfortunately, this is something that is required by the county, by the state, and with that, I'm going to motion to accept staff's recommendation as a solution for this school district going forward.
Motion by Trustee Gonzalez, seconded by Director Calamanes. Can we get the roll call vote?
President Tortes?
Yes.
Vice President Garcia?
Aye.
Clerk Arredondo?
Aye.
Trustee Acuna? No. Trustee Calimanes? Trustee Gonzalez?
Aye.
Trustee Vargas?
So I'll be voting no.
Okay, motion carries.
This was really a formality. The decision had already been made. They just solidified it last night. And remember, last year the board approved a raise for themselves at a time when they were already being warned by FCMAT that the district was heading toward a financial and fiscal cliff. Well, the dollar amount of a board member's stipend isn't what's draining the $25 million deficit. Critics argue it's the symbolism that hurts. It's hard to tell 40-plus teachers they'll lose their jobs while the people at the top are seeing their pay go up. Got a letter from a former CVUSD teacher to share, and I want to do a little of that with you right now. Dr. Esparza needs to answer questions, but she won't answer them because I asked in the past for her to just give an ambiguous non-answer. Why does she and district leaders get raises when there is no money? Why are they still paying Mr. Gary Soto? Is it because he is your friend? Why does the district continue to use Desert Concepts Construction? They go over budget on many projects. Some great questions there. We asked them ourselves. So Dr. Esparza, how about you put your money, if there's any left, where your mouth is? Show that transparency, show that collaboration, show that steadfast commitment you've talked about. Come on the show. We've been asking for over a year. And answer some of our questions. The op-ed was an easy preemptive strike for you to spin what happened at last night's meeting. Show some real backbone. Sit down with me, one of your most vocal critics. Tell me why I have been wrong this whole time. Don't you take me up on my offer, because we both know, however you try to spin this, people are losing their jobs and the kids in your district are and will suffer more. Just know the offer is open and I'm waiting. Friday, we welcome in the Bakers, Jamie and Doug. Jamie, we'll start with you. Last year, the school avoided a state audit. Would a state audit make any difference at this point?
I'm pretty sure it would have, and it's really shady that the vote was tied, so they couldn't really get the audit. It's despicable, is what's happening in this CBUSD. Shame on them.
Doug?
The audit would make a difference to a lot of people because an objective third-party audit would bring everything out in the open. Okay, and maybe we would feel better about the district. Maybe we would feel worse. But I still don't understand why they had to use their political games to avoid the audit. Boy, if I didn't have a problem of being transparent as they say they are, bring it on.
Yeah, and here's the thing. What do you think an audit will show? I think I know what an audit will show. I've not seen the books. That they're in trouble. I think the audit will show they're in trouble. The thing they don't want, and they don't want anybody to know where the money went. How'd you spend your money? How'd you get into this much trouble? What do you think about the school board giving themselves raises in the midst of these cuts, Doug?
I don't. That does not pass the smell test at all. And they're blaming now a decline in student enrollment as part of the problem. Well, that decline's been going on for years, and you budget for that. You stay ahead of the fiscal game when that happens.
Jamie?
You know, it's about time that the people who live in that area need to just get these people out of their office. Look at all those people that were all in that city hall, in that voting. I. Shut up. Like, do the right thing for once.
All right. The controversy, political, brewing after Sheriff Chad Bianco launched an investigation into an alleged vote counting problem from a recent election. Bianco's department is officially looking into claims of extra votes from a special election last November. We're talking about a group of residents who say they found a discrepancy of over 45,000 ballots. Now, the registrar of voters is calling foul on those numbers, saying the actual difference was only 103 votes. But the sheriff's moving forward with that probe anyway. What makes this really complicated is that some of the groups pushing these claims have been linked to sovereign citizen ideologies, which has democracy watchdogs and county officials seriously worried about the impact on public trust. It's a high-stakes standoff because Bianco's currently a front-runner for governor in 2026. So this investigation into the very system he is running is raising a lot of eyebrows across the state. Doug, what impact do these kinds of allegations have on public trust in elections?
Well, I believe a certain percentage of population hears about these inquiries and they become distrustful of the process. But is there really anybody out there with an IQ over 3 that believes that Trump really won the 2020 election and it was all rigged? I don't think so. And I believe the registrar of voters when he said the discrepancy between the count was only 100 and some odd ballots. I believe that. And remember, you can go down and watch them vote. You can watch it on screen. You can total transparency. This is just con game. It's what it is.
Jamie, how does one group come up with 45,000 extra ballots and the registrar come up with 103?
Because they want to cast doubts on people's mind and they want to just make a whole bunch of kerfuffle for people to get confused. This all started with Prop 50, which is just a mockery of I don't really care for career politicians and elected officials.
What is the line between investigating concerns and spreading misinformation about voting, Doug?
You know, those that want to spread misinformation never give up the witch hunt. No matter what the response they get, they have another battle for it, another accusation to make. I'm tired of these people. I'm so tired of them.
Can you believe anything anybody says?
I like to think I can.
Yeah. But when you hear this type of thing, right or wrong, and maybe it was 45,000, maybe it was 103, but it's all posturing. It's all, who do you believe?
Well, it is.
It's all, I always say people are sheeple, they follow the flock. And it's just what flock are you following?
It's true.
Make sense?
It's true. Yeah, and sometimes I just would say get the flock out.
Yeah. Okay. And with that being said, have a good weekend and be a good neighbor. Victoria Rancho Mirage looking to have her nails done. Okay. She likes dips and is looking for a salon that is known for dipping them. Kyla in Cathedral City just got her first apartment. Now she needs some furniture to fill it. Anybody have some stuff they're looking to donate? Joe La Quinta needs some recommendations for great lunch spots. She's not looking for Italian food, though. And Linda in Palm Desert needs some grab bars installed in her bathroom. who's got some recommendations for somebody that can do that for her.
You think you know everything and we know nothing? Prove it.
Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Roggin. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Maybe you are the smartest person in the room.
Tell you what, the party mom took it way too far.
If you love dogs and you can no longer take care of one and you're bedbound,
Dealing with medical challenges isn't easy, but Richard Waxman and his dog Terry
he actually trains the new volunteers.
are turning compassion into action. Waxman founded the nonprofit Paws and Hearts in 2000. Since then, it's grown into a valley-wide animal-assisted therapy program with trained handlers and their dogs visiting patients to bring comfort, connection, and joy when it's needed most. Now this nonprofit is looking for more volunteers. To learn more, visit their website and discover how you and your dog can make a difference.
It makes them feel as though they've accomplished something. It makes them feel as though we've given back to the community. It makes us feel as though our time to get there and to put the dog in the bandana, to put the volunteer shirt on, it just makes it all worthwhile.
Okay, now be honest. When you were young, do you have one of these houses in your neighborhood? You know, the one, the fun one? Mom was known as the fun mom and parties were always the best. Well, one Northern California mom took the fun a little bit too far. And now she is going to prison for 12 years.
Really?
Yeah, really. For years, party mom Shannon O'Connor reportedly hosted wild, alcohol-fueled bashes for teenagers at her home. But the charges went far beyond just underage drinking, involving serious allegations of sexual assault and child endangerment. Prosecutors painted a disturbing picture of an adult who didn't just look the other way, she actively orchestrated and took part in the exploitation of the kids. The judge didn't hold back during sentencing, making it clear that O'Connor completely betrayed the parental trust that holds a neighborhood together. What do you think, Jamie? 12 years? Is that the right sentence for this?
That's all she got? I can't believe it. I put her in the likes of the Weinsteins and the Epsteins. She's a sick human being. Those 12 years or whatever is not going to go well in jail for her. Huh.
Doug?
Absolutely. She's not well. She is a sexual predator. She had kids at those parties as young as 14 years old and giving them booze, encouraging them to have sex. What kind of a sick mind does that? She is just one sicko.
It's funny. My mom, when we were growing up, so this is many, many years ago, always thought, if you guys want to hang out somewhere, I'd rather have you be here so I can keep an eye on you and not running around somewhere else. But my mom never, brought out a keg and called in prostitutes or something. It's like, you kids hang out here, but that's it. Not we're going to do all this other stuff. How do you think she got away with these parties, Doug?
Isn't that amazing? I don't know. Apparently her husband didn't even know about them, which is kind of strange. And she used some type of social platform to communicate with these kids. I forget the name of the thing, but the message disappears after 5 seconds. Okay, and then how in the world did she get these kids there? Keep it all a secret? Go on with this for over a year? I don't know how in the world she did that.
Jamie, do the other parents in any way, shape, or form own any responsibility for this?
Yes, absolutely. If my 13-year-old daughter came home kind of tipsy or drunk and she kept going back to the same house for parties, there's something going on. Pay attention to your kids. But this woman, wow. God, just do something, please.
All right.
Well, can you imagine your 13-year-old coming to you, one Friday night? Hey, guys, I'm going to a party tonight. I'll see you in a few hours. And you just go, okay, bye. No, the world didn't work that way.
No, apparently for some kids it did. All right, you've heard from Patrick. Next, we hear from Sherry. So So it's promised to be upscale, but is it upscale enough? Rocket Avenue Bar is trying to get a permit to open on El Paseo, the fanciest street in the valley. Some business owners are not happy about it. Owner Patrick Masur joined us to talk about it.
But I'm very surprised about the resistance. Everybody I've talked to on El Paseo, I've talked to a lot of business owners, a lot of residents, and they're all very, supportive of the idea and looking for another place to go and hang out, where they can listen to 70s and 80s and 90s rock and roll music that's fun and safe. But yeah, I'm very surprised that that this stuff is coming out. I'm just trying to bring more to the El Paseo community and work with other businesses.
What are the concerns that some of the business owners have there?
Like puking and urinating and those kind of things, which is, really ridiculous because, that can happen anywhere. But our place is going to be an upscale place. We're going to have top-notch security with suit and ties on. There's going to be a dress code. But this place is just going to be a fun place where people can come and hang out and listen to the good old music.
So, as Patrick said, he's received a little pushback. One of those not too thrilled at the idea of a late night bar, no matter how upscale it is the owner of Pizza Vino, Sherry Pieratoni, right next to him. And she joins us now. Sherry, welcome to the program tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we know the dilemma here. We all know the dilemma. People have been talking about it. We had Patrick on. He wants to open a bar on El Paseo. It happens to be directly next to your restaurant, which, by the way, I've been to many times, and the food is great. So I do have to say that right off the top.
Thank you.
There is a concern in the minds of some, you being one of them, about him opening that bar. What is the big picture here?
The big picture is I don't believe it belongs on El Paseo. So El Paseo is a prestigious street likened to Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, where you have high-end shops, fine dining, coffee shops. There's even a little wine bar. And it's known just to be a prestigious, healthy, safe environment for people to walk their dogs in the morning. I see people, I'm at the restaurant at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I see people riding their bikes. And I don't believe, along with everybody else that shares my block, that a drinking bar belongs on El Paseo. Now, we already have one called Libation, which is 6 doors down from me, which has offered consistent problems with their patrons vomiting on the sidewalk and urinating, which our staff has had to clean up and other business owners have had to clean up, and called code enforcement over this. And we just don't believe that we absolutely don't need another one on the same block. But I think the big picture is what does the city want for El Paseo? And that's the fight that I'm fighting and trying to get other people on board if they agree with this, that it just doesn't belong, it doesn't fit the picture of El Paseo.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
All right, couple of things. So if you go down El Paseo, toward Portello, there's La Fe, the wine bar.
La Fe is not just a drinking bar, though. It's a wine bar. It's a social gathering place. He has wine tastings. It's totally different than a rock and roll drinking bar. Totally different image.
All right. So Patrick said this is going to be an upper scale bar. You've got to have a dress code. There are going to be people in suits and ties serving as security. With that kind of look, would that be something that belongs at El Paseo? Because at least listening to him, it seems like it's going to be a classy place. You disagree?
I don't see how you can run a business and have that criteria. Patrick can say whatever he needs to say to get his business license. What you say and what you do can be two totally different things. And I'm not discrediting him. I don't want to go there with this. But as a rule of thumb, you can say whatever you need to say. I've had a conversation with Patrick. We've had, a nice conversation, and I've said to him, it's basically up to the city. What does the city want El Paseo to look like? I'm not in control of that. All I can do is voice my opinion and get others who agree with me to voice their opinion, and then it's up to the city. And I've said to him, you know, if you get in and get your business license, I hope you're a good neighbor. I hope you live up to everything that you say you're going to do. We shook hands on it. If he's a good neighbor, I'll be a good neighbor, and kumbaya, you know, but we'll see.
I know you were nervous. I thought you did well. Thank you for coming on tonight. I thought you did a very good job of making your point.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Cherry asked us to point out that LaFay closes at midnight and that nothing good happens after midnight. Roggin Avenue will stay open until 2. When we return, the Riddler checks in.
Hey guys, riddle me this. I have many faces, expressions, and emotions, yet I'm always right at your fingertips and have no soul.
From Palm Springs to Indio to La Quinta, is anyone watching in Indio?
Whatever you're watching, tell us what you think. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Roggin. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
I have many faces, expressions, and emotions, yet I'm always right at your fingertips and have no soul. What am I? Emojis.
One comment tonight about our story on people not knowing where their next meal was coming from and not seeing a doctor due to shortages and high prices. This comes from Jim. Very hard to see a doctor here, especially for new patients, as many doctors are not accepting new patients. They're already overloaded. Okay, have a great weekend, but we're going to be working. NBC Palm Springs never stops. We go 24/7. Go to the website, click on programs, click on the Roggin Report. Content from our show tonight's up there, content from past shows as well. Appreciate you watching. Wheel of Fortune is next.